Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good morning, children. Your chemistry teacher is here. Today, we are going to learn some more new topics in this chapter is matter around us pure. In this session, we are going to discuss about some types of solutions and separation of components from a solution using some processes named evaporation and centrifugation. Now we are going to learn about the types of liquids based on the solubility. So what is solubility? Solubility is a general term. It is more often used to mean the ability of a solid solute to dissolve in a liquid solvent. Okay, the ability of a solid solute to dissolve in a liquid solvent. So, what is miscibility? Yes, it is used when talking about the solubility of liquid solute. Understood? So, solute and solvent both are in the liquid state. Okay. So, based on the solubility of solutions, they are classified into three types. First one is miscible liquid, next one is immiscible liquid and partially miscible liquid. Miscible liquid. Okay. Miscibility refers to the ability of one liquid to completely dissolve in another liquid solvent. So, a distinct layer between these two liquids will not form when we have a solution which is miscible. For example, juice is mixed with water. Okay, when the juice is mixed with water, it will not form any layer between these two solvents. So they were mixed together and they were form a solution. Next type is partially miscible. A pair of liquids is considered partially miscible if there is a set of compositions over which the liquids will form a two-phase liquid system. Liquid dissolves in another to some extent. Okay. This is a common situation and it is the general case for the pair of liquids such as water and vegetable oil, as well as here I have given the example ethylene glycol as mixed with chloroform. Next type is immiscible. Two liquids are said to be immiscible if they are completely insoluble in each other. Okay. Such a system actually consists of two phases, though it is usually referred to as a mixture. Example, benzene and water, kerosene and water, and oil is mixed with water. Next category is based on the solvent. Based on the solvent, it is categorized into two main categories. They are aqueous solution and non-aqueous solution. What is an aqueous solution? An aqueous solution is a solution in which water is the solvent. Okay, the water is used as a solvent. For example, sodium chloride solution we can say. It is a sodium chloride solution is an aqueous solution. Sodium chloride is dissolved in water. Here the sodium chloride is the solute and the water is the solvent. Next type is non-aqueous solution. Here the solvent is the other than the water. Okay. A non-aqueous solution is a solution in which water is not the solvent. Other than any liquid can be a solvent, in which the solvent used in is other than the water. For example, sulfur is dissolved in carbon disulfide. Non-aqueous solvents mostly they are alcohol, benzene, ether, acetone. So these are the some of the examples for non-aqueous solvents. Next type is based on the amount of solute dissolves in the solution. It is categorized into another three types. First type is saturated solution. Next one is unsaturated solution. Next one is supersaturated solution. Okay. First one is saturated solution. When no more solute can be dissolved in the solution at a given temperature, it is called saturated solution. A solution with solute that dissolves until it is unable to dissolve anymore, leaving the undissolved substances at the bottom. This is called the saturated solution. Next one is unsaturated solution, a solution that completely dissolves, leaving no remaining substances. If the amount of solute contained in the solution is lesser than the saturation level, it is called an unsaturated solution. Third type is supersaturated solution, a solution that contains more undissolved solute than the saturated solution is called supersaturated solution. We have learnt that most of the natural substances are not chemically pure. Different methods of separation are used to get individual components from a mixture. Separation makes it possible to study and use the individual components of a mixture. Heterogeneous mixtures can be separated into their respective constituents by some physical methods like hand picking, sieving, filtration that we use in our day-to-day life. Sometimes special techniques have to be used for the separation of the components of a mixture. There are many special techniques are there for separation of components of a mixture. Today we are going to discuss the first technique of that is evaporation. Evaporation is a technique used to separate out homogeneous mixtures where there is one or more dissolved solids. This method derives of the liquid components from the solid components. The process typically involves heating the mixture until no more liquid remains. This is because all liquid components will evaporate over the time. This method is suitable to separate a soluble solid from a liquid. In many parts of the world, table salt is obtained from the evaporation of seawater. The heat for the process comes from the sun. Once the seawater in these evaporation ponds has evaporated, the salt can be harvested. It is the real life example for the process evaporation. Here we are going to discuss how can we obtain colored component, that means dye, from a blue or black ink. Evaporation is a useful method to obtain colored component from blue or black ink. Ink is a colloidal solution and it is a heterogeneous mixture of dye and water. When this mixture is heated, water evaporates and dye is left out. Here is an activity. Put a watch glass on the mouth of a beaker as shown in the given figure. Put few drops of ink on the watch glass. Now start heating the beaker. We do not want to heat the ink directly. You will see that evaporation is taking place from the watch glass. Continue heating as the evaporation goes on and stop heating when you do not see any further change on the watch glass. Now we will observe that the water gets evaporated from the watch glass and residue is left in the watch glass. This residue is a colored component dye. In this way, evaporation can use to obtain volatile component from its solution. Thus, we can separate the volatile component solvent from its non-volatile solute by this method of evaporation. Next type is centrifugation. Sometimes the solid particles in a liquid are very small. They are tiny and pass through a filter paper. For such particles, the filtration technique cannot be used for separation. Such mixtures are separated by centrifugation. The principle is that the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles stay at the top when spun rapidly. Centrifugal separation is a mechanical means of separating the components of a mixture of liquids that are immiscible or of liquids and insoluble solid particles. The material is accelerated in a centrifugal field that acts upon the mixtures in the same manner as the gravitational field. Nowadays, we get full cream, toned and double toned varieties of milk packed in polypacks or tetra packs in the market. These varieties of milk contain different amount of fat. So how can we separate cream from the milk? Here is the answer. A separator is the centrifugal device that separates milk into cream and skimmed milk. Separation was commonly performed on farms in the past. Most farmers milked a few cows, usually by hand, and separated milk. Some of the skimmed milk was consumed while the rest was used to feed the calves and pigs. Enough cream was saved to make butter and the excess was sold. Today we have learnt about miscible, immiscible and partially miscible liquids, aqueous and non-aqueous liquids, saturated, unsaturated and supersaturated liquids, and the processes evaporation and centrifugation for separating the components. Okay children, go through this video again and again. Thank you.